Hello and welcome back. So, as you see, I have my toolkit from IKEA out. I've got some 25 millimeter rose gold moterm rings. I have a standard TN. This ended up getting some pen mark on it, so I'm going to try to see if I can get that off. But it is a carpe diem cover. So, excuse me. This one, as you know, if you've watched my videos, I do have a standard rings in here. So I am loving this one. I love the colors. I love everything about it. So this one is the gold rings. Now, I want another one. But this one, and if all goes well, I will update it to look the other one to be like this one. So what my goal here is right now is I want to actually punch rings into here. So I am so sorry. Like, I have been fine until I came on here. So what my goal is, I want to punch these into here. With the other one, I have an insert that is going across the back. I don't want that because it kind of moves around, and I mean, some books it's okay, but for this one, I want to have just one. So I am a fan of colorful rings. So I usually get the rose gold and I get the gold. So what my thought is here, I used to have like a leather belt punch. I don't know why all of a sudden my voice wants to do this. So I figure I'll just record this video and kind of walk you through how I do this, so we can see if it's a success or a failure. The inside really won't matter as much. It will be the outside if I don't do this right. So what my thought process is I need a hole, but I don't want a humongous hole. So actually, you know what? I don't even need, I always forget this. I do not even need the screwdriver kit. So, I mean, it's good to know for you guys that have a screwdriver. I use these. My close to my heart tweezers. I use this end and it goes perfectly right into here and twists and turns it for me. So I don't even know why I just grabbed this. It was unnecessary. So let me just set that aside. All right. So my thought process on this is, without being too technical, just kind of quickly getting this in here. I also have this. It's the Tonic Studios Tim Holtz. I don't even know if they make this anymore, you guys. I have no idea. I bought this probably like 12, 13, 14, 15 years ago. I don't even know. So I used to have a paper crafting small business and I had an Etsy store. So that is why I have all of these tools. And a lot of them still come in handy. So what this one is, it's a piercer. So it does definitely have some like adhesive on the end, but I don't use this much, so it is what it is. Let me see. I have some alcohol pads. Let me just grab one and see if I can clean that adhesive off. I stock up on these alcohol pads because I use them for my sugar testing strips and then like for my finger. And then I also use it to dehydrate my nails before I press them on. These are press-ons, so any videos that you see me with nails on, they are press-ons. I do not go to the nail salon. So I dry out my nails before I buff them and then I just press them on. All right, so as I stab myself with it. All right, so it cleaned. I can feel like one little tiny sticky spot, but this thing is extremely old, and honestly, I'm still impressed that it's still around. So, okay, I do not need this to be this long, but I mean, I'm just showing you. It can go really, really long. So I just want to pierce this with this. That is the goal. So what I would like to do, because I want the rings to stay in here permanently, because this is, I've had this for years, and you guys have probably, if you're Instagram followers of mine, you've never seen it. If you are, I don't want to cut the strings. See, like that's why I don't like it, because anything that is light just gets dirty. That's why I don't really use it. But see here, I'm going to try to figure out how I can get that. And then there's some ink over here. I don't know. I'll try some sanitizer. But I want to see, the first step for me is going to be to make sure. Now, I'm going to hold this in place like this. It's not the best, but it helps. So I did think about cutting the strings off. So I want to make sure that this is lined up where I want it. But also, when I close the cover, is it in the right position? Because that's going to be the crappy part, is if it's not in the right position, because I'm punching the holes. So see how the pockets don't line up? If I match the pockets, it's not even. So it is a little bit of configuring in to make sure that the rings are in the right spot. So that's just what I'm trying to make sure before I punch it and stab it. So to me, this is good right here. So what I'm going to do is, remember, you have the hole inside of the ring mechanism. So while this is closed, I want to stab it. I don't want the hole to be extremely big. See, I just pierced it. That's it. And then I need that to stay in exactly the same spot so I can pierce the back without piercing my finger. Okay, so you see it went through? All right. So now, I mean, these things are so easy to do. I'm not afraid to experiment with my planners, you know, to beat stuff up, to punch holes through them. I don't care. So what I'm doing is I'm just kind of going around, like in front of it and back of it, kind of wiggling out, making this hole a little bit bigger. See how it was super skinny? So just kind of like, you know, re-stabbing next to it, kind of puncturing it. Okay, so now what we're going to do, and this is going to be the test, because this part is thicker, so this part for the outside needs to go through it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick the front through it first. And usually, even if the hole is not wide enough, you can stretch it. See? It stretched it out there. So now, this one might fit, it might not. So I'm going to pop this out, and you can even pop it in the other way. Usually I do all of this type of stuff off camera, but I want to start doing more of this on camera so that you can really truly see how easy these things are to do. You know, it's not hard. It takes a little bit of time, not a ton of minutes, but now that I know that I've done this with this one, if I was to do this with the other one, which I think that I might even do it right after this one. Okay, so I heard like that crunching and like piercing sound. So now I'm going to pop these out. And the good thing about using the tweezers is if you need those, you can always use those too. So remember, this side is going to be thicker. So I'm going to put it off the edge of the desk because I really have to push it in there. But all that we were doing so far, we just punctured it, we widened it, and now we're like pushing the thick part through. But because it is thicker and I need more force, I'm going to just stick it at the edge of the desk with that part just hanging off. And there we go. Boom. Pushed right through. So now we are lined up. We are pierced. And we're ready to just set the rings down on it. And then tighten them in there. So I'm just going to get it started and then I'll tighten them with that. So, I mean, tools that you have in your house are, you know, get a piercer tool, you know, like something like this. Again, I don't even know if they sell this anymore. I'm sure that they do because I used to use it for my paper crafts all the time. I have a landline phone and literally it never rings, and it's gonna ring right now. I don't know that number, so I'm not gonna answer. Okay. So I'm sorry for the ringing in the background. Like, who calls a landline phone anymore? Okay. So, and this is a new number for me. I just got a landline recently because my bill went down by adding a landline. I'm like, well, you know, just in case the cell phone's ever dead and I need a phone. It's not bad. All right. So, all right. So now we have the rings punched in. It closes. It is perfectly lined up. It is in there. Now I just need to work on this a little bit for the ink. I'm going to try some alcohol pads possibly because that's not real leather. And I will also try some sanitizer. But what we're going to do here, and for this one I will need the backs of the gold. We're going to punch these in too. We're just going to do it. Because honestly, I have TMs and I don't use them. I just don't. As like, I can't do strings in that sense. I cannot do strings on like notebooks and have separate. I've tried. I just cannot do it. So we're just going to punch this in. Everything else is going to stay the same. This is what that insert looked like. So I'm going to loosen these and I'll undo it so you can completely see. We're going to do this the same exact way. And you saw how quick and easy that was. This is going to take a little bit of maneuvering and also me not smacking you guys around. To loosen these. I don't need this to fall off and stab me. So that's actually a rose gold. So this is, all right, I'll show you guys that after. Let's get this other one off. I will keep this insert just in case, like this plastic, because it's already sized for a standard. So I will keep it. Because honestly, I have a Midori that I was thinking about getting 19mm rings for. an A5 size because that's a standard. So I don't know. I have 2 moterms. I will not punch the moterms. Those will not be punched. I have the apricot veg tan, and I have the olive pebbled. I will not punch those. So if I was to go back to using those with like a smaller ring mechanism, I would definitely use an insert. Okay, so when you buy the rings, and you can do this with a 6 size, you can do it with any size. And all that I did, this is from Michael's. It was like 59 or like $1.59 for a humongous sheet. And I've used this to make so many different inserts. So I got my money's worth out of it, definitely 1,000 times over. But all I did was I punched them. I took this little index card. I made 2 of them. I took a yellow index card, a lined one, and I folded it over itself like this, and then I punched it with a single hole punch because these are stronger and they will hold more paper than if you put it through like your planner punch. Mine always gets stuck and I always have to like tear stuff out of it. So rather than doing that, I just use the single. That's why I still have one of those. So again, I made 2 of those and I just put it, when I did the, like that part, flat against here, lined it up, put the back on, right through it, well, through the plastic. See how it comes up there, and then you just screw it in. So there's ways to make your own mechanisms, and just don't give up and don't say, oh, well, I don't have fancy. These are not fancy supplies. I think it's like $1 or even less at Walmart for index cards, and Dollar Tree has them too, and you get a whole entire pack of them. And I use them in pocket planners too. So like I said, I am going to save this insert. I'm going to stick it in one of these drawers over here. So let me show you what else I've used these inserts for, since I have them right here. I have used it on a personal size. I punched brads into it, and then I have a tool that flattens them in the back, an old school Cricut tool, tied it up there. So I made one of my personal TNs that's a folio into strings. That's a personal size. And then I also did it with a standard size. And I still have another ring mechanism that is in a personal size. So all of that came from that one sheet of paper. So that's what I mean. You can take one cheap thing and you can make many different things. All right, let's get these punched in here. That will be today's video because it's a beautiful day. I've got my windows open still. The sun is still shining, and I just want to go. I want to lay down, watch some TV with it still light out. So again, we see that it is perfectly lined up in the middle. So I'm just going to hold this in place, and I'm just going to pierce it. I almost said stab. Let's not use that word. I'm going to pierce it. And again, I don't need that to be very, I just kind of want to do it while it's closed, so I know it's in the perfect spot. But if you watch, if you've ever gotten pierced, you know what this feeling is like. So because I shortened it, you can't really see, but it's definitely there. It's pierced. Now we're going to just leave this right in place, slide it right through, and go to the bottom, and it's pierced through the other side. Okay. Could not get any easier than this. So I'm going to take the piercer again. Now this one is dark, so I can't really see where my hole is. So I'm going to just kind of loosen up that hole right there a little bit. Do the same thing here. Wiggle this all around in there. And I'm just going to go straight for the big one. I'm not going to put the smaller one in there like the other one because it should just go right through. Maybe not. All right, so I'll just stick this one in first. You can kind of hear it. Like there must be like a cardboard in there underneath, and that's what you're hearing first. So now I'm just going to stick this one through. Boom. And I'm sure you guys can hear this like popping through. But I'm not going to sit here with a pen and mark it and do a ruler. No. It's not necessary to do all that. It really is not. So once again, I just pulled that other piece out. I'm going to stick this on through. It rolled underneath my thumbnail. Okay, so sit the rings down right there on top. And then this one already had all my inserts, so I am just going to put those right back in here. And now I'll be happier because now I can see the background too, you know? And it won't be moving around, and because I know I'm not going to go, and I had a pink one, like a pink polka dot one, and whatever happened to that, I do not know. I don't know if it's in my closet. I don't know if I sold it. I don't know if I gave it away. So this is almost done. And then I'm just going to put, and then I can give you guys a quick flip. I mean, of the one that I'm currently using, because this one, I don't know what I'm going to put in it. It might just be a backup. It might be something that I end up using again. And again, I usually just do this stuff off camera, but I'm going to start cutting down my books on camera. I'm going to start, you know, because I feel like people feel like you need to have like fancy, immaculate tools to do these things, and you definitely don't. I'm using like a 15-year-old piercer to pierce through. And my index cards, like that's what I was holding that together with. So that will go in my little junk drawer here. Okay, so now we're just going to put my stuff back in, and it's in here really nice and firm. It's a nice hold. I'm not worried about it coming out. So now let's just stuff it. And of course, some of the inserts are different sizes and cut at different places. Some are skinnier, some are wider. But honestly, like I was sitting here and I'm like, okay, you set up this standard binder, but you're also using your Filofax rings that you're updating every day. So why do you need 2 rings? And then I'm like, because I do. And honestly, I use them both, and I use them for some of the same things, some different things, but I enjoy it still, no matter what. Like, I'm still having fun with both of them. So I don't want to limit myself. And I did just start a B6 book bound. That will be another video because I just want to keep them separate. Yeah, so like the A5 ones, they were punched from Carpe Diem themselves. So theirs are a little bit higher. So when I flatten the pages against the desk, you guys tell me if this makes sense to you. When I tap like the pages against the desk to line up the holes, those never line up like the divider tabs because their punch has a little bit more space on the side, if you will. See how like that is punched so far in versus the ones that I punched? Can you see that? Like, this one goes all the way, so it like could, the pages underneath it are like way over there. So I know what I mean. I hope you guys know what I mean. But yeah, I mean, the only thing that I was not loving about this was the fact that my ring mechanism was moving. So now it won't move. Now it's firm in place. I don't have to worry. And I love that like the list pads just fit so perfectly inside of here without really having to cut much down. So let me close it all up. That's exactly what it looks like. There is the ring mechanism. There it is from the outside, just like you would see any regular planner, except the ones that have a back pocket, which I despise. So yes, I'm loving it already because when I open it, it's not wonky with that plastic flipping up. It's not moving around. Oh, I have to add so much more to here. So I'll just quickly do a flip for you. So there is, and I do realize that my light is not plugged in. So there's my like inbox, the back of my inbox, this little self-love thing. I track all of my daily verses for my daily text on this, and it goes for the whole entire year. So it will be a year of record for that. Spiritual activities for April and May, kind of like some ministry goals. And yeah, because that's actually my faith tab there, spiritual. So then another divider. This is lists and to-dos. So just some things here. And then just a declutter list, things that I had to buy, a grocery list, planners and things to de-stash. So actually, while I have this open, let me cross some of this off. I have so many different pens, you guys. This is this one. It's got a little purse at the top. So the personal, I shipped those out today. The pocket Finsbury and the slate is gone. And those are still listed. Okay. So then this was order. Oh, this is like an online shopping group thing that I buy from. So I have to add to that. Just some notes from my recent meeting, some bills. This one is my dailies. And again, these were the skinny inserts from when I had the 30mm rings, but they're still in here. I'll take them out soon. And then some go-to scriptures for on the go, another daily. This I started to move into the grid paper, like the skinny grid paper. And I have a lot of stuff that I can cut down and put it in here. So this is my reading log. So this one, I don't have anything else on these pages yet. Another divider, blank paper. It's all just lined. This divider, list pad paper. And then I just have a bunch of little like different list pads that I have here. I wrote a personal note that I forgot about, but I saw sneak in there when I was taking these out. So we got some Ray Dunn. We have some other, I got these at TJ Maxx, but I don't know who they're by. Some floral paper with some butterflies, and then a different floral with butterfly. Ray Dunn to-do list. So things to do here. I was just making a to-do list for that day. These are from Dollar Tree. And then, okay, so the personal note is on one of these, but at the beginning. So these I also got at Dollar Tree, so I punched some of those in there. And then we have the grid paper. And it's nice and thick, like it's nice thick carpe diem, like cardstock. And then just the last divider, and then the little purple card back here. So that is it. So now you saw me on camera create with rings. This one here, which you guys have seen me using this one. So this is not new, but I will never keep a retractable pen in a pen loop because I don't want just it to ever open or leak ink. And we know that all pens leak ink at one point or another. So I just keep my Uniball Jetstream, which is my absolute favorite pen in life besides my Dr. Grip. I mean, I have some really cute like pens that I write with, but a lot of them I use more off camera. Like I've got my Barbie, I've got the Chanel inspired, I've got this LV inspired. It's a sublimation pen that I bought from somebody. This is really heavy because this bear in this thing is really, really heavy. This one is the one I just wrote with, like an LV inspired purse at the top. The Cat Mama with the fuzzy. Another CC inspired. A pink one. And then I've got like florals. I've got spring ones. I have so many of these pens, you guys. I've got an M&M, coffee, another floral. This one says, True Love Has 4 Paws. That's really cute. I've got this one, breast cancer awareness. That one. And this is just what I have at my desk. I have the Cat Mom one I think you guys have seen me use before. This one is another really cute one. The coffee cup. Another floral. They just don't end, you guys. I've got animal print. Faith, Hope, and Love with the breast cancer. Another floral. Sunflowers with a butterfly, Mickey, like cow print. I know I have the Cat Mom one somewhere. That one is like one of my favorites. I made it myself. So I buy some, I make some. This one I bought all the stuff and I made a bunch of them, but. Okay, so now let me put all these back. So you guys just saw me on the camera. It was super easy. Literally, you guys saw how quickly it took to punch those rings in. Go get your stuff, guys. Go get your rings. Go get your planners. Go get your stuff that you're not using, that you want to use, that you're scared to use, because that's my thing. There's so much stuff that I don't use and then I'm scared to sell it, but then I know I'm never going to use it. And it just, everything sits around and we accumulate so much stuff for absolutely no reason. But this one, you guys, honestly, I have not taken my hands off of this since I made it. That is the goal for this one too, but I got to work on getting this pen off, this ink. But as you can see from the back, that's what it looks like. This one has the rose gold rings. This is the first one we did. So use up your stuff, guys. Have fun. Don't be afraid. Have fun. So I'm going to try to film another video right now on my B6 Stilio, which will be a lot shorter than this one. So that way I can get those videos up for you guys. So it was nice chatting with you and I will talk to you soon, but take your stuff out and have fun. Don't let it all sit around in the closet. It's just going to grow dust for no reason. So take it out, play with it, have fun, and I will talk to you guys soon. Thanks for watching.